All right, another episode. We're on episode 145 today, and we're back to guests. Your host Stephen Maxted, and today we have Matt Wilkinson, founder and CEO of MakeItSnappy.com. And Matt, thanks so much for making time to be on the podcast today. Like I said, it's been a little bit of a gap. I was just talking about that with you before getting on the episode. I've just been talking solo episodes, and this is super refreshing to have someone else on the screen with me. I'm excited to have you on today for a few reasons, and one of which is just a really cool new emerging technology you're bringing, and it makes a ton of sense. And this is coming from a place of a guy who's always been a truck guy. This has been me most of my life, and doing it for free, right?
Yeah.
And then there becomes a point where I get too old and too busy, and I can't be the truck guy anymore for people. But I guess that's maybe a little bit of a warm up for what you're doing now. But that is kind of the niche that you're filling in with your tech and with your mission overall, to make it easy for folks to I guess kind of move stuff around, and you're looking up for every side of the business as well, given our last kind of conversation. But why don't I pass it over to you? Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what Make It Snappy is all about.
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, it's good to finally be on the podcast. I know we've been talking about this for a couple of years, and I guess this is the Christmas special, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever we did it, it was going to be special. So, yeah. What got you started on this project? Because I know this kind of did start off without getting too, I guess, into it, but some other like tech stuff. But we do kind of have a what do we call it, the gig economy going on, and this is like another area where I think that it is lacking. But how did this all start?
So it all started probably around 2018, 2019. I wasn't in the best financial shape myself at that moment in time, and so I would have appreciated an opportunity to easily earn extra income, and but there weren't too many opportunities around at that moment in time. Gig economy was kind of just starting out, I guess, getting more mainstream, and around that time I moved quite a couple of times, and first time that I moved, I hired a truck, and it was a large 7.5 ton truck, and I actually ended up doing most of the moving. There were 3 guys that came with the truck, and they took a lot of breaks, and one of them actually ended up getting a back injury or something, and they were taking care of him like the 2 other guys. So I just continued, carry on, just keep moving stuff, because we were on a time crunch. We were paying by the hour for however long it took to get done. So in the end, the guys were saying, "Oh, you didn't really need us, did you? You just needed the truck." And it was kind of just sparked a bit of an idea in my mind in terms of, I'm able to move stuff. All I really needed was the truck, and in the end, so got me thinking about opportunities for what could potentially be like a app or software to help assist people with moving items, and also gig economy, helping people earn extra money as well.
Awesome. And I think, that's such a cool thing to hear from a lived experience, and going through that and thinking from it, like both angles. One, you needed it to move, and 2, you were also maybe of the mindset of, hey, like, how can I make an extra buck within the space here? And I think it's more relevant than ever. And I mean, how many people are out there that are underutilizing their vehicle and maybe do want to move something, I guess, ultimately. I guess without spoiling it, we'll get into it, but how does the app function, or the website and stuff? Like, how does it work right now, and how do people use it, like right from ground zero?
So it's we set it up as a web app. It's makeitsnappy.com. So Make It Snappy is the logo is a finger snap, and so it's very relevant to the service that we offer. And so basically, you just go to makeitsnappy.com, create an account using your email address, and then once you're into your profile, you can from there you can actually create deliveries if you need a shipment. You can also apply to be a courier as well, and go through the application process. So we're looking mainly with drivers, people with their own vehicles, commercial insurance, criminal record check, and so there's go through the application, but we get people approved pretty quick. We do have a lot of ride-hailing drivers that have actually signed up, because we pay double what the other gig economy jobs are actually offering as well. So it's a good opportunity. Eventually, once we get a little bit busier, we anticipate people are going to be looking for, Make It Snappy. People are using gig economy drivers are using different ride-hailing apps, food delivery apps, and that sort of stuff. So the goal is that we'll be the main app that they'll look at to see if we have any jobs available for them, and if so, then they can earn double what they're getting from the those are the gig economy roles.
And I mean, I know I did the picture here with the mattress, but what kind of stuff for people moving and Make It Snappy? And I mean, this style might be figuring some of this out too, because it's an earlier stage, but what's the idea right now? What would they be helping people move?
So the main markets that we're into at the moment is kind of twofold. There's the business side, and then there's the consumer side as well. So on the consumer side, what we're looking at really is people moving, like similar to your background there, people moving mattresses, large items. And it could be that it's used item. Maybe you go on marketplace and find an item, but you don't have a truck necessarily or a vehicle large enough to move the item that you're actually purchasing. So we help both buyers and sellers. So we help buyers be able to purchase the item and get it moved, but also helping sellers as well, because it tends to be when you have a large item, there's that discussion of, well, how are we going to get it moved? Do you have a truck? No. Do you have a truck? No. And that's it becomes a bit of a challenge in terms of selling. So what we can do with makeitsnappy.com is give sellers peace of mind that when they're actually advertising a large item, they know that there's a way of getting it moved very quickly. And our competitive advantage is that we can actually provide a vehicle within 15 to 30 minutes on demand. So we do on-demand direct delivery. It's just your item that gets moved. We don't pick anything else up along the way. So it does become that dedicated delivery where items get delivered within the hour, basically from requesting to delivery should be within an hour.
That's awesome. That's exactly what people want.
Yeah.
They want it easy to pick up, and that is like a huge dilemma too. I remember, I was telling the story to you, but a buddy of mine did this. I think it was during like COVID. Like things were a little bit slower with his work, but he had a work vehicle, no names or companies used here with this guy, and he was like flipping couches though, and he was like literally reselling them quicker than he was even like picking them up to people, because he said free delivery on there. And so he charged a little bit more just on that, on this like couch flipping thing he did. And he only did it for a few months. I think he was like I said, just like kind of bored, had some extra time. But it was a really good example of like, hey, delivery is super important, especially like that's the biggest issue. And a lot of people that are buying a bigger item, hey, how am I going to get it home? Nothing worse than even myself. I've always had trucks, so I was able to help out. But I went to like Costco one day and went to go get some like regular groceries with my dad. We ended up picking up some kayaks for the cabin, and I had to go home and go get the truck. But if we didn't have that, I mean, like, yeah, you want to get them. I guess we knew that I had the truck and the ability to come back and grab them. But a lot of folks, they want to purchase things, and then they're like, it becomes a big roadblock. Right? Hey, how am I going to get this home? And whether it be, a piece of furniture, mattress. I mean, kayak's kind of a funny example, but even could be something like a bike, and you just don't have the space in your vehicle anymore. In a lot of them. So yeah, it's a pretty and how far, I guess, is another thought I'm just having now. And I don't mean to put you on the spot as I'm saying this, but how far distance wise would some of these trips like be, or could they be? Or can people kind of choose their own adventure? Because if maybe they need someone for like a truck and they have to get out to like something extreme like the cabin, or is it more meant like city focused? I know we're talking casual, but we'll talk business.
We can go more or less anywhere, but the rates, the way that the rates work are, we go everything from small car right up to cargo van. So small car, SUV, large SUV, minivan, pickup truck, and cargo van. So it's the way the pricing structure works is it's $20 base price for a car, $30 for an SUV, $40 for a large SUV or minivan size, and then $50 for pickup truck and cargo van. So that's kind of the base price. Then we charge $2 per kilometer and 50 cents per minute. So it's but actually I was recently chatting with somebody, and they mentioned about they were looking to get a barbecue, and they wanted to get it
Yeah.
delivered out to Falcon Lake as an example. And I said, well, we can do it. It's going to be probably around $350. But we can absolutely do it. And they were more than happy to pay that price because they didn't have a truck. So they said just to get it out
Right.
there, just that's going to work. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's a real live example of exactly what I was thinking. It was like, hey, like, you got this cabin, but you don't maybe, you have a couple vehicles now. They're a little bit easier on gas because you're going out the highway. You don't need the truck necessarily to do that. But then, yeah, you go and buy something out there, and you need it delivered. So,
Yeah.
hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we help with used furniture, and then also with new furniture as well. If sometimes
Yeah.
it can be on a Saturday afternoon, you'll be in the furniture store. The couch that you want is in the store, so you're
Yeah.
there. The couch is there, but the store won't deliver until Tuesday or Thursday next week. So now you've got to
Right.
take a day off work. You've got to hang around for a 4-hour delivery window, or maybe even more, or you have the ability now to put the power in the consumer's hand to determine when items get delivered. So
Yeah.
with makeitsnappy.com, again, you can get it delivered within under an hour.
Very cool.
And so that's kind of the consumer side. And then the business side is more to do with, let's say, construction and auto repair shops. When they send employees to go and get supplies, employees that go on supply runs, which end up being extended coffee breaks. They're gone for around 2 hours. And so that they're gone for 2 hours. The employee is not productive for those 2 hours. And then also it costs the business around $100 or more. So in that instance, we can actually, for the most part, it ends up where we can actually do it in half the time, half the cost is our kind of what we advertise to businesses. Instead of sending your employee, keep that employee productive for those 2 hours and order the parts and get us to pick them up
Right.
and deliver. Or it could be, so again, like construction, suppliers, auto repair shops, could be, you got the likes of car supply stores that have regular delivery routes. But if you don't necessarily get your orders in on time, now you're not on that
Right.
delivery route. Again, you've got to send an employee to go and get the parts. So
Yeah.
so we want to. There's a big market there for helping businesses actually be more productive, more efficient, and effective with their operations by utilizing makeitsnappy.com.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As much as I was going to joke about someone, yeah, like skipping out on work, but yeah, like you said, extended coffee break. I mean, it's just, yeah, keep them focused on whatever else they're working at, and you guys take care of the delivery side on that end of things. No, that's fantastic, and I'm sure that there's other use cases in the business side where, yeah, people are just like whether it be like smaller, almost like courier kind of thing, but specifically in those industries, I could certainly see that. Yeah, I mean, top of mind because it's something I talk about on the daily, but the agriculture side of things too. I know it's like a pain in the butt. You got to like drive way far to usually go get parts and stuff like that. I'm sure that something like this in seeding and harvest time would be huge for guys, and they would definitely pay whatever it is instead of pulling them off of their equipment, even if it is a rain day. I know I've heard this story, a tale as old as time. I'm sure anyone who's listening and in the egg space or on a farm is nodding their head if they're hearing this about having run for parts. I've heard some crazy things about like having to like drive out to Saskatoon, or whatever, from the Winnipeg area or from the Inner Lake, and it's just like that's an entire day to get out there. But guys will do it because of like the one part in Western Canada. Obviously, it's not very efficient for anyone in that sense of like, scooting out there to go get this part. But if it's holding up harvest, that's when well, money's being made on both ends of that. But yeah, I think that's just like that's got a lot of potential for sure. That's obviously a very extremely long route there. But
but again, like with our goal is really in terms of we don't want to be business's number one courier.
right.
Lots of businesses already have courier contracts in place, and so we're not looking to step on anybody's toes and get into that market. We want to be
Right.
the backup. So when there's an emergency, or if you number one courier can't provide the service because they're busy or whatever's going on. So our goal really is we want to be everyone's number two. So it's
That's cool.
and I think that by pushing to be everybody's number two as that backup, it actually could create a larger market overall for us.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think that is the case with those ones. That's like they've run out of every option, and they got to run out there and do it themselves. So could still be like a good fit there. But I think that's really awesome. And where is it? It's launched now, and where is it available to date?
It was launched now. It's live. We're primarily in the Winnipeg area,
Okay.
and so the system's live. The drivers are ready. It's just a case of pushing out the marketing now and getting those customers.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm just on like the website on the other side here, just to chat it out loud here, and maybe I'll even share a screen. I'm going to do a new screen. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, media presentation. Should I do this while we're on here? Pull it up just to see how easy this is. There we go. Perfect. There we go. We got it. We usually don't do live demos like that, but this is what you're looking at here. Yeah, and this is, we either have like sign up or log in. Seems super straightforward. Create account. Obviously, I don't have this ready to go on the fly here, but just to show someone visually what this looks like in case they are looking for it and they got this far in the episode and they want to know where to go and what that looks like to date. So I'll take that off now. But then, yeah, outside of that, that's where you're going to get connected as far as deliveries and the other side of that. So that is awesome. And yeah, I guess available in Winnipeg. Where's next expansion from here? And what does the future look like? Is it just Canada based, or is it going to end up being maybe in other countries first, or how does the trajectory look?
The goal is so we're starting off in Winnipeg, then we're going to go to Saskatoon, Regina, heading into Saskatchewan. Cool. Then after that, very quickly, we want to move across Western Canada. So it'll be Edmonton, Alberta, and then Calgary as well, and then into Vancouver, Victoria, and then maybe places like Kelowna, just larger cities as well, like those smaller ones, large cities.
I was just talking about Kelowna today. I could see a perfect use case for this with emergency wine orders in that region. Funny enough, I was just talking about wine deliveries out there earlier today, but I joke. But you never know. Maybe they do need that snappy. But yeah, more so B2B. Oh, okay. So outside of the little funny humor there, but moving out west and whatnot, where do you guys growing out after that? After Western Canada has kind of expanded, what are the next steps for you guys?
Yeah, so once we've gone across Western Canada, we want to head into Eastern Canada. So the goal would be to get there maybe in around 6 months, and then 6 to 12 months expanding over on that side of Canada. Cool. Around the 12-month mark, ideally, we're starting to look to expand down into the US, and then from there, we'll be looking to go over into UK, Europe, and also Australia as well. Those are kind of similar markets to Canada.
Very awesome. I guess that makes sense. I mean, just talking this out loud, but predominantly English speaking, usually, and follow a lot of the same like rules, regulations, I would assume. I guess I'm sure it's different every little way. There's always nuances. I mean, even
there's always those like little nuances, as you say, but just work through those as we expand.
Very cool. And is there like any kind of like minimum requirements and stuff like that for different like vehicles or little things that people should know about?
So with the vehicles, you need to make sure you got a safety on it, vehicle safety. That's where it works well. A lot of the like ride hailing drivers, as an example, they have to do that as part of the other gig economy roles that they do. So it just kind of plays into that. And commercial insurance it works out roughly anywhere between $20 and $30 a month.
To do that, okay.
So it's not too expensive. Ride hailing can be around $200 a month, which gets quite expensive, considering you got to try and basically do maybe around 20 to 30 passenger rides to get just covering the cost of your insurance.
Yeah, because we were talking about this today in a little bit, not to try to keep it positive as we're talking on this, but some of the other gig economy stuff does really limit how much you're making. Like you're not
Yeah.
at the end of the day bringing home maybe as much, and it's something that I think you were. I don't steal your words here, but I'll let you share this part of the story. But you're trying to, I think, kind of change the way the gig economy is kind of run and have people kind of making a fair amount of money
Yeah.
ultimately, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Canadian economy at the moment, we've got like roughly half of Canadian households have less than $200 left at the end of each month after paying all the bills, which to me is not a very good statistic. I thought would be a lot lower than that.
right.
Also, in terms of actually, when you look into it a little bit further, a quarter of households are actually insolvent, not even earning enough money to pay the bills. So there's a big demand there for people to earn extra money, which is where they turn to the gig economy. Now, the challenge with that is, for the most part, a lot of gig economy drivers, if they're busy, they're earning, say, between $15 to $25 an hour, but then you got to pay for the insurance, the vehicle, the gas,
Right.
maintenance, and income tax on top of that as well. So a lot of the
Yeah.
time, these gig economy drivers are actually taking home less than $10 an hour. So way less than minimum wage. And
Yeah.
I guess the good thing about it is it gives you the freedom to work on your own time when you want to. But at the same time, it's not really helping people get ahead. And so that was one of the things in
Yeah.
developing Make It Snappy, was we wanted to be at a price point where it saves the customer money, but also we can pay the driver well. And that's what we're able to come in with Make It Snappy, is paying double what people can get from other gig economy roles.
Awesome. Very cool. Love to hear it. And yeah, I guess you're just getting started, but I can see this being awesome for every time of year. You know, whether it be a summer photo like in the back end here and moving,
Yeah,
but I mean maybe even more so like those yeah, tight times here, like back to school, or like that fall is a very popular time to move in general.
yeah,
I know there's some great like moving companies out there for like full on house moves and stuff, but there's always the the few things that need to be moved around, like a
yeah.
mattress, the dresser.
And
But you're not
that's,
going to do
yeah.
that, you know. You're not going to go get a rental car for it and stuff. It's a whole or truck, whatever it
Yeah.
is, you know. It just doesn't make sense.
And that's
So
exactly it. So, like I say, there's a lot of people moving around. They don't necessarily want to pay for a full-on removal company,
yeah,
but there's certain items that they can't necessarily move themselves, and that's where we come in.
yeah, well, that's awesome. Do yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to know? I'm like stumped because I know a few. We've had a couple of chats about this already, so I'm kind of pumped and already in the mix with
Yeah.
it. But
So
yeah,
I guess just to add that we do live tracking as well, so you can see the vehicle moving
oh,
around. So I think that's one of the things that I would say a lot of the time have experience in moving is when you're asking friends to help. It's a case of what time they actually turn up, if they even turn up. So it's
yeah,
that's when
that's
you
true.
find out who your true friends are, when you need help moving stuff. It's like you'll see who turns up, and
Yeah,
yeah, the excuses come out. People, not feeling good, bad backs, all that sort of stuff. So so it becomes challenging. You're waiting around ready to move something, but you're not sure exactly when that person's going to be there. Whereas with Make It Snappy, it works similar to other apps. You can see the vehicle come into your location, and then you can
yeah.
actually see it on the move when it's doing the delivery as well.
Mm. No, I'm just reminiscing about like my move into my place, and I mean I haven't moved a lot, but I have a cousin that moves semi frequently. He would agree that when he was spending his time doing his master's in Winnipeg, I think he moved like 4 times in 2 years, maybe even five, and he was just bouncing around places. A couple of things done, you know, issues with the place that he was like living in or whatever, but he needed something exactly like this. I tried to
Yeah,
help out a little bit, but I wasn't always available. And with the cousin with the truck, but yeah, I mean, people just need to move this stuff, and I mean, if you don't, you can't guarantee that your friends are going to show up though too, which is sad.
yeah,
Too bad. But you know, when you're a little bit younger too, I'm just thinking like university. I got really lucky with some friends that helped move me actually into to this place from an apartment, and yeah, had like 4 or 5 trucks show up. It was, you know, they were making it snappy, we'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a whole little crew there that helped up. But I mean, other friends I know, I've shown up to help, and like 2 or 3 other people are supposed to be there, and no comprende, you know, and that's not
Yeah.
good. If like the lease is up that day or whatever it is, you know, you have like that 2-day window usually, or end of month kind of thing, where you're trying to get your stuff out, but then into another place, and those, you have to be out. There's not really an option. So if someone doesn't, yeah, like show up, you guys could be there to
Yeah.
fill that in there, no problem.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Again, like there to help in a
yeah,
pinch. And but also it's like people like yourself, when you got a truck, when I lived in England, I also had a van,
yeah,
and you're always constantly getting asked, can you help move this? And so in a way, we're actually giving people that own trucks and vans their lives back, because now you can say, yeah, I'm not available, but make it snappy. Somebody over there in 15 to 30 minutes when you need them. So
I could yeah, easily relate to that. I feel like at different times, sometimes in the past, I would have just wanted to reply with, here's the link, instead of,
yeah,
I can't help you, here's the website. And not to be rude, just, I mean, like things just are like busy, and you're like, I'm always the guy that says yes to stuff, and it's like it's hard to fit that all in. Yeah, no, that's super great. I really appreciate the time, Matt. And I think unless there is anything else that we like missed, but I think we covered lots of it in here. And I've just pulled up the other side of you know, the back end, the portal here, and logged in. And yeah, I think you guys are onto something great. It's really easy to follow through process on here right now. Looking forward to whatever other versions do look like, and obviously there'll be evolutions to this, but seems like you guys are on the right path. And yeah, very excited to hear and continue to follow the story here through the podcast page and through my pages personally. So glad we could have you on and share your story today.
yeah. Thanks, Stephen. And yeah, so if anybody needs help, makeitsnappy.com. Go there,
Very good.
sign up, and we'll love to help you with your deliveries.
That's awesome. Great. Okay, we'll chat soon.
Okay. Thanks, Stephen.